Hey, how's it going? Been a while since I made a video, at least a video where I'm actually talking to you. And it's also been a while since I made a video regarding Christianity. And I wanted to talk to you today about a good book, or a good couple of books, depending on how you look at it, that are or has helped me in, I guess you could say, my walk with Christ. Or not even just that, but also it's helped me in terms of a better theological understanding of the Bible. And that would be Luther's Small Catechism. Now, I want to preface this by saying you don't have to be a Lutheran to take a lot of good information about this book. And I also wanted to say, before I actually start talking about this book, is that there are 3 versions of this book that I know of that are in current publication. And that's the Luther's Small Catechism, which is this blue one, which was published in 1943 and revised slightly in 1965. This is the oldest one that I know of that Concordia Publishing House still makes, and you can buy on their website. And this is the smallest one, so it's the most out of date, and it also uses the King James Version, which some people enjoy, but some people don't like. I love this version precisely because of how small it is, and it's just easy to understand, easy to read. The next one is I believe this is 1991. I think it says it in here, the 1991 version of Luther's Small Catechism. And these are all the Luther Small Catechism with explanation. So the thing is, it's Luther's Small Catechism, which is like a 30-page or something document. And then the rest of the book are the actual explanation part of it, which has scripture in between each little question, each little verse, or each little like paragraph, basically explaining each section of Luther's Small Catechism. And then the last one, oh, and by the way, this 1991 version is, I believe the explanation part is the English Standard Version, the one that I have, but the actual Small Catechism, like the 30 or 40 pages, is, I believe, the New International Version, NIV. And that is the same for the newest, most up-to-date one, which is the 2017 update. Now, this is one that I was given when I actually started talking to the pastor of a LCMS church, and I have since become a member of that church after attending, I think, about 8 weeks or so of members' classes and attending a few services beforehand. And this is the longest one, and in my opinion, so here's the thing, I've read this twice. I just finished a second reading of this today. And this one I've never actually finished, even though it's like the middle length. So this is like in between these two in terms of sizes. But I actually just started this a few days ago. I'm gonna give this one a try. In my opinion, the biggest one is great, but it has a lot, and I mean a lot, of repetitive verses, and you end up reading the same thing over and over and over again. And it's great, but it does get really repetitive. But this is definitely good for the Lutheran, because it tells you a lot about like the church year stuff. It tells you it gives you like each season. It tells you about the lectionary. It tells you about symbols. There's a glossary. There's meanings of terms relating to worship in God's house. There's the extra stuff in the modern one. Well, in both modern ones are great. They're fantastic. They have a lot of information. But for somebody who's not a Lutheran, I would recommend either the 1991 version, which is the English Standard Version, or this 1943 one, which is King James. And you can see the size difference here. This one's definitely shorter. And the reason I think this is good for any Christian is, first of all, yes, there is doctrine in there. So you're going to get some type of sway in terms of thinking theologically. Meaning, if you are a Catholic, you might find some things that you would consider false, or any other denomination. But that doesn't mean there's not things that you can take away. So there's 6 main parts in Luther's Small Catechism, and that is the 10 Commandments, the Apostles' Creed, the Lord's Prayer, and then you have the sacraments of baptism and sacrament of the altar, which is communion. And then you have the last thing is the office of the keys / confession and absolution. And those are the 6 parts, not necessarily in that order that this goes over. And this is, as Martin Luther thought, was basically the chief parts of Christianity. And this thing goes pretty in depth, even for the main couple, like 30 pages or so, which is just like the very short thing that Martin Luther himself wrote. It's very good. It's very good, and you can take a lot of information out of it. And it's not that Martin Luther doesn't use scripture verses, because he does in some of these, but to get like the full explanation of it, it would be after it would be right here where it says a short explanation. And the short explanation is where it goes into more in depth, and there's like questions and answers, and it describes everything a lot better. But I really want to recommend this book right here, specifically this one. Any of the three are great, but although I haven't actually fully read this one, but I really do like the King James Version. There's just something about its simplicity and the not super repetitiveness that's in this. It's written so well. It's honestly timeless, and I recommend it, even for some people that are not that are not Lutheran. You can definitely pull a lot of information out of this that will help you in your understanding of the Bible. And you know, if there are things that you disagree with theologically, you can just toss that to the side. For example, the Lutherans, at least the LCMS, we do baptize infants. Some people have a problem with that, and we do believe in the real presence in the Lord's Supper. And you can, you know, throw that out if you don't agree with it, but I would at least give it a read. Maybe it will change your thinking in some way. But aside from that, you can still, you know, look at the Ten Commandments. You can still look at the Lord's Prayer and the Apostles' Creed, which are very good early Christian beliefs and even modern Christian beliefs. And you can take a lot out of this book. So I really recommend it. Even if you're not a Christian and you're considering Christianity, you know, I wouldn't necessarily dive right into the Bible right away. If you're going to, then I would recommend some form of study Bible, or like a read along with notes or something of that nature. But I recommend this for Christians, non-Christians, non-Lutherans, anything. Give it a try. You might like it. It shouldn't take you that long to read, depending on how interested you are. I think the second read through took me about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And that's, you know, I'm not reading this thing religiously. I have other things that I'm reading. I'm reading 2 different Bibles right now. I'm also reading this Luther Small Catechism. I'm reading the Book of Concord. I have a lot that I'm reading. So give it a try. I think you'll like it. You can get it on the Concordia Publishing House website. You also might be able to find it on Amazon as well, although some of their stuff is a little bit harder to find on Amazon. And I'm sure you can get a used copy on eBay or something too. So thanks for watching. I really, really recommend that you give it a chance. And, you know, let me know if you do read it. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any concerns, any arguments, any comments you want to leave, or anything of that nature. Thank you for watching.